Again, not negative reinforcement. We give it positive reinforcement. Roll on, thank you for coming.
Every generation of Americans has the opportunity to shed racism, classism, sexism. In the 1970s, the Latino community came together and did something very important, with many of you in the crowd know the Aspida consent decree that allowed us to create a system where we could teach kids their first and native language as they entered our society and then integrate them. Did we do it perfect? Absolutely not. Can we improve that process? Absolutely yes. But every generation has the responsibility to make it better, to create a richer environment of opportunity. And I believe that we are failing. The outcomes, the results, testify that we are failing. We are not producing in all across the entirety of our system the best outcomes. We're not doing it with the kids. We're not doing it with the progress of professionals in our system, and we're certainly not doing it at the top of the food chain, the so-called food chain, when it comes to the running of our school system. So I would commit, as mayor of the city of New York, to turn that upside down, to blow open those doors, and let's be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves. Sexism and classism and racism is still an insidious part of this process that has to be stopped, and it starts at the top. The chief executive has to set the tone.
Bill, you want to diversity both staffing and the specialized program in high school?
Absolutely. What we've been looking at with the Bloomberg administration is an administration that is, if possible, was less diverse than the Giuliani administration. I don't think it was possible. The Bloomberg administration has accomplished that. They have fewer people of color at the top, across the board, whether it's in City Hall, whether it's in Tweed. Go and take a visit to that building. It is not diverse at all. Take a look at the commissioners across the city of New York, and it comes down to there. We have the best and the brightest in the city of New York. They are Black, they are Latino, they are Asian, they are diverse. We need to bring them into city government. We need to make that commitment. Deputy mayors, commissioners, assistant commissioners, directors, on down, teachers, administrators, chancellors, all the way down. We need to make sure that we have a diverse administration. And right now, as I pointed out, it is less diverse than the Giuliani administration. That's outrageous. So we need to make that commitment first, and it would be nice to hire them from the city of New York as opposed to going all around the country. And when it comes to high schools, we need to get out of this one test, and that's all. And if we look at what it takes just to begin with, to take those tests, so many of those classes aren't offered to our students across the city of New York. They're guaranteed not to succeed on those tests. We need to look past those standardized tests and look at the best again and the right.
Okay, Anthony, and you might want to give us, you said you wrote a book on race last night. Want to give us the title? On race, sorry, while you're at it. On race, let's start with Ed Koch. He described the Central Park 5 case as the crime of the century, upholding the cops and their railroading those 5 years. If you haven't seen the film, you should go see it. In 1980, 13% of Stuyvesant was African American. Today, after 2000, it was 2%. I haven't seen the latest figures. I'm faculty advisor, elected faculty advisor to the student government of Birmingham Community College, the most diverse college, certainly in the city, if not in the state. And I'm elected. And I wrote a book on race and class politics. It's been getting worse under both Democratic and Republican administrations. Definitely. Our student government passed a resolution condemning the murder of Trayvon Martin and George and Ramon West. I was up there. And our school voted on from the time, stopped 5 times, thrown to the ground on the NYC. Okay? This is not went on and on. How can you learn in that environment? There's pedagogy for yourself. You can't even go take that because you're so traumatized. You attack at the top of the street. $700 separate the two issues of race and class. I discussed this in the 90s, and it got better because of the two world wars. Our country sacrificed a little and gained so much in the two world wars. But, and you're in the whole world, I'm not talking about this topic, okay? I've been doing this for over 40 years, and I'm going to do it for another 30, and that's another 15, okay? I'm going to do it for another 30. That's why I inspire the students. I don't think politicians inspire anyone because they're not other people. They are working for the special interest of the city and have been for a long time. You should give the Green Party a chance, the Green team a chance, because we believe in both of us. We deal with that. You deal with it. You cannot feel secure if you don't have a job, education, healthcare, or housing. He said this on January 11, 19.
And you're also living away from the top education.
People who've been screwed by the 1% of the bank. You guys have to school system and bring up the stuff to the private school standards.
All right, we're going to think about time. 2 minutes